Here we are again with another layout update video. It's been a couple days, but there's a lot of work that's been done. Doesn't seem like it at first, but it's been a process, I'll tell you that. So what's been done since the last video? Obviously, up front, you can see what's been done. I added some real dirt and I started using my static grass applicator. So literally what I did was went outside, scooped up some dirt, bought some, cake, sugar, sprinkler, shaker thingies from Dollar General. Scooped it all in there and sifted it into 3 separate grades. So like fine, and then I got like a medium, coarse, and then rough. I don't know what you would want to call that, but that's what I'm calling it. So with this, with the fine stuff, I literally just put some full strength glue down, took a spoon, and sifted it onto there. And as you can see, there's nice texture, and it's not going anywhere. And I was surprised about that. I thought, even after gluing it, putting the isopropyl alcohol, spraying it with the glue mixture, it would still want to move around. But no, it's there, it's stuck. Kids were up here driving Hot Wheels and monster trucks on it, and it stayed in place. At first, when I had just dirt, I was like, oh man, what did I do? This looks rough. Wasn't happy with it. But started using some static grass, and that's starting to tie it together. I'm trying to avoid it looking like Rhodesian camo, but it's kind of coming out like some weird camo pattern. I wanted to do it, random, to make it look like patches of weeds and grass. Maybe once I add more, it'll start looking like that, and add some like flowers and some tufts. We'll see. But it might not look like it on camera. But there's 2 separate shades of grass. So this is light grass in 2mm, and this is medium grass in 2mm. And then I tried to blend them together right here within the same shaker. And then over here, this is, I believe, 7mm. I'm still having trouble with the applicator. I have it plugged into a wall because the 9V is just, it works as well as communism. So I just ditched that idea and plugged it straight into the wall. Over here, it was working a lot better. I'm not sure if that was just from the applicator or, I don't know, from like the vacuuming it. It stayed up pretty well. I don't know if over here I just have too much, but it kind of looks like it's been tramped down, deer have been laying in it or something. But over here, it looks really nice. I need to buy, like that one, I'm pretty happy with that. I need to buy the lightest color instead of grass. I can't remember what it's called, but it's like a yellowy. I didn't want that at first, but now that I'm looking at this, I realize I need it. And I also need dark green, because I think those other 2 will help blend everything together. I'd also like to break out the air compressor and see if I can airbrush some of this with like a flat dark earth color, see if I can tone it down a bit, tone down the dirt. Because this dirt's been on there for about a week now, and it's still a lot darker than I expected. I was really hoping it would be a lot lighter after it dried. It's not as dark as in person as it is in the video, but I was really hoping it would be lighter, so I kind of really want to spray that with some like tan sandy color, lighten it up a bit, make it look like weeds, or not necessarily just weeds, but it's warm, it's not a muddy climate area. But yeah, in this small little patch, it kind of looks weird in person, but I'm hoping once I start adding more grass to this whole area, it'll start blending together and not just look like, I don't know, I don't even know what you want to call it, but I like it. in the video, which I posted a video of my switcher, and I'm pretty sure that's going to go up before this video. In the video, with the train and everything going by, this grass and everything looks natural and looks great. In person, with nothing there, I'm kind of on the fence about it. Like, it looks better than just table, but I don't know. I feel like there's a bit more we can do to make it look nice. Like, I'm just missing something, and I think it's just the fine details. But weathered some of the ties. I need to obviously ballast all of that, some of that track too. I went through here and touched up a lot of the ballast. So this is all glued down again. Still got to do in there, around that signal, and on the outside of that. I kind of want to put some like chain link fence out here. Not sure, we'll see. Maybe make it, maybe buy it. But so far it's coming together. Another update to the layout. Obviously, as you see, I got some tunnel portals here. If you saw, I posted a poll in the community, YouTube, whatever. Just two pictures, one with these two single portals and then one with a wider portal. Both I need to modify to make work. The way my track plan is, the tracks are spaced out a little too far to use the double portal. But yeah, as you see, it doesn't fit. So if I had to use this, or wanted to use this one, I would have to, in my mind, split it there and there, and then add either, I don't know, foam pieces to make it look like that, or buy another one of those and then put in those separate pieces just to widen it, if that makes sense. But I think the results came back that 94% of people said use the single portals. You guys like that better, so that's what I'm going to do. Regardless, I still need to modify these two, and instead of having them overlapped, I've seen some people do that. I don't really like it. I don't want to have to blend that later on. But what I'm going to do is find where these have to sit, mark it, where obviously none of the cars are smacking into it, the locomotives aren't smacking into it, and then mark up here on top of them where I need to bandsaw it in half, and then just glue them together. I think that is the best option. I'm sure I could find a way. It's like a spot. I'd like to follow one of these lines on both of them. That way when I put them together, it looks like they're supposed to line back up. Maybe that gap will just look like the crack in between all the bricks. We'll see. These weren't crazy expensive, so I'm not too worried about if I ruin them. And I'm sure I could probably blend them together. Maybe, we'll see. The only concern I have with these is I might need to trim the inner wall. Because with all my rolling stock, even my longest stuff, that Rock Island boxcar, the Reading car, and this little fire truck flat car, they're pretty much my longest cars, and they all clear it with about 1/4 inch on each side. Probably if I bought, you know, some scale Atlas 50 foot, 75 foot, whatever they are, box cars, they might not fit. So I'd probably have to trim them to get those to fit. But I don't have anything like that. I don't really want to spend like $120 on a box car, at least not yet. When I'm at that point, I might be building a new layout. We'll see, I'm not sure. But my little steamer over there clears no problem. Obviously that little diesel Reading switcher fits no problem, but I honestly think that's a problem for another day. Another thing I've been slowly working on, in my mind I don't want to do it, but it's kind of necessary for the rest of the layout to continue, is the upper loop. I have one side pretty much done, track work at least. It's not screwed down or anything, but I have a rough idea of where I want everything. I still got to buy more portals, obviously. There's going to be 2 up here. Most of this curve is going to be inside a mountain to hide that. So it's going to pretty much enter right there and come out about right here, just to hide most of that curve. But I need there to be a mountain to continue working down here. So I'll just get some filler strips, plywood, or not plywood, cardboard, foam, whatever, and then put some of that Woodland Scenics plaster mold stuff on it. I've never done that. It's a little nerve-wracking. That's kind of why I'm putting it off. There's other things I can be doing right now. Like the biggest update to the layout, as you might have seen in the other video, just a sneak peek, is this new laser cut mine 4.0 scale. I had to modify it a bit to work with what I wanted it for, but it actually fits and works so much better than I thought. I was expecting to have to modify it a lot just to get it to work for what I wanted, but there was minor modifications. So in the previous video, you saw that I got rid of the loop that came out here, which would have been in the way of this. With this new track plan, I could fit a lot more stuff, and this thing takes up a good bit of real estate. And it's not done. I still got some touch-ups to do, obviously. I got to put the roofs on. All the windows have window trim. I need to paint those, prime them. They're going to be a separate color than this. I got to prime this gray. Maybe that'll be in this video. Maybe it'll be a separate one. I'm not sure yet. This one's kind of just rambling on already with useless information. But I'm hoping that priming this gray and then maybe some wood filler is going to hide a lot of these like laser burnt edges. But we'll see. Originally, that little pier or walkway was supposed to be right here. That didn't make sense if it was sticking out right here on my layout, so I just swapped this wall with that, or that wall with this wall, and ended up gluing that one here. And it's a pretty nice kit. It's pretty secure. I would like to have that obviously going into the mountain right here, just for whatever mining operation. It'll make sense as soon as I build up enough confidence to start on that mountain. But man, I am liking this thing a lot. So as you can see, the coal cars fit pretty well. I had to modify the locations of these leg supports to be able to fit with my track plan. But these things fit really well in there. Both my engines fit underneath too, nothing scrapes. Makes me really want to pick up more of those coal cars. I'd like to get some of those shorter iron ore cars, whatever they're called. But even my box cars that are pretty tall fit no problem at all. I'm glad I kept that little second staging yard or whisker track, whatever you want to call it. Probably just keep box cars there, maybe put more coal cars, we'll see. That other video I made, which most likely is coming out before this, was some switching operations. And man, this thing adds so much to the layout now. Makes it so much more enjoyable. This new track plan, I guess you could call it, works so much better. If you're struggling with your layout, you're not happy with it, change up the plan. Add some more track, remove some track, add some operations, some switching. Even if it's basic stuff like this, it'll add so much more enjoyment to the layout. I promise you. Over here, we still have this one track going into the mountain. I'd like to get some sort of warehouse, goods, plant, something, put boxcars over here. I'm scratching the lumber mill idea that I had. Just don't think that'll make sense. But it's coming together. Over there, so I saw JD Stuck's video where he's working on his mountain and he used construction paper essentially for the mountain layout. I tried that here, but I used really thin stuff and it's not working as well. But I wanted to get a good idea of what this would look like when I start putting, you know, a mountainside there. But this stuff was just a little too thin. It kind of just went back flat instead of holding its crumpled up shape. But, I mean, as soon as I have something there that's painted and scenic, that'll add so much. And obviously I'll have to move those freaking OSB boards, get them out of here. But that spot will be open, obviously. And then over here will be the same thing. Crumpled up paper and then put plaster cloth on it. Scenic it, make it look nice. Still need to put some tunnel portals here. I think I'm just gonna order more of those single portals and use them there, 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 up here, up there, and one behind there, and one behind here. So it's gonna be a little pricey, but that's this hobby. But it's coming together. I'm pretty happy with this. Been making a lot of progress on it after sitting idle for months. Here's the back side of the facility. Most likely going to leave that area open. Same with over here. Coming together, coming together. I know I keep repeating that, but it's getting me excited. I was on the O-Gauge forum, and I was trying to find what people were using to weather their mine facilities, their whatever, some sort of goods facility that they want to make it look weathered and old and just industrial. And one person posted that they bought an old school Lionel roof. I don't even know what this was for. I bought it from trains.com. I think it had to do something with a mine facility, just like an O27 little thing, for like $6. I didn't pay very much for that. Someone might say that was more than I needed to, but for what I wanted, I'm glad I found this, because in the forum, the guy bought one of these, and he took thick, heavy-duty aluminum foil, cut it to shape, you know, like corrugated metal shingle slats, whatever you want to call it, on the side of buildings. Cut it to size, rolled it on here to pick up all the little detail, all the ridges and rolls, and then glued them to his facility for the roof. I think I'd like to do that for the whole building. The roof, obviously make them bigger pieces. The siding, make them a little narrower, but longer. I think it'll come out well. I gotta figure out how to glue it though, because I know aluminum foil isn't really known for being able to be glued to things. But I'm sure there's a way. Scuff it up, we'll see. I just gotta buy some of that aluminum foil, test it out, break out the air compressor and airbrush, and try my hand at weathering. Never done it, probably gonna screw up a lot, but that's why I got these cheap O27 Lionel cars. Practice on them. And then even if I don't like it on there, the weathering at least, I'll just re-primer it, paint over it, and start over again. But realistically, that's just gonna be a very dark gray with a lot of black soot, rust. I might eat my own words, but I don't think it's gonna be that difficult. We'll see. I'll definitely take you along for the ride. But that's pretty much my update for today. I think I'm gonna keep doing bi-weekly posts. I don't think I can do weekly. Been pretty busy at work, pretty busy with family, obviously. But I'll keep you guys updated. I'm not going anywhere. I'm gonna keep working on this when I can. Keep giving you guys updates. Thanks so much for sticking around. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down, but let me know why. I want your feedback. I want your suggestions. Ultimately, these videos are for you guys, not for me. So if there's something you like to see, you want to see, you think I should do better, definitely let me know. Thanks again. See you in the next one.